Are you dumb?
I think she's
I
dumb.
think she's dumb.
I think she's dumb.
I think
Are
you're
you,
dumb.
like, medically speaking?
It has been revealed that fired Michigan coach Sherrone Moore is accused of attacking a woman at the home of a Wolverines football employee after allegedly stalking her for months. According to police dispatch audio, the woman in question claimed Moore assaulted her on Wednesday evening. The call made from the Michigan employee's address at around 4 p.m. Moore, who was fired as Michigan head coach earlier on Wednesday over an inappropriate relationship with a staffer, is set to appear in court for arraignment on Friday, just under 48 hours after he was detained by police over the alleged assault. According to ESPN reporter Pete Thamel, the situation with Moore at Michigan had been percolating for the last few weeks after he began acting strange behind the scenes. There had been a lot of uneasiness on the Michigan staff. Sources had told me Sherrone Moore had been acting strange, berating assistant coaches, not acting in a normal way, Thamel said Wednesday on SportsCenter. Thamel claims there was an initial investigation that had calmed towards the end of the regular season, only for it to reignite over the past week. It is rare that you get a statement like the one Michigan had, being as explicit as they are, saying it was an inappropriate relationship with a staff member that led to Sherrone Moore's firing, he added. Michigan announced Moore's exit in a damning statement on Wednesday, with athletic director Ward Manuel saying, "Following a university investigation, credible evidence was found that Coach Moore engaged in an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. The 39-year-old, a married father of 3, spent Wednesday night in a cell after a stunning day that saw him first dismissed by Michigan over an affair with a member of staff and later detained at an apartment complex in Ann Arbor."
The head coach of Michigan got arrested not for cheating, but because he broke into the woman's crib that he was cheating with and tried to send himself and her to the Lord and Savior. What's crazy, she not even the one that told the school on him. DoorDash snitched on him. The school found out because he decided to order a plan B to the school, and the DoorDasher recognized him and snitched. He even gave Shawty a 55% raise. The school found out, fired him. He lost 13 mil. His wife don't want him no more, so he left the crib, went to Shawty's house, broke in, whipped out a blade, and basically threatened the woman and held her there for like a good little minute, debating on, is it time for him and her to go? Police ended up finding him at a church. DoorDasher, don't DoorDash there no more, because he's looking for you, I think. If you want to get mad at the woman for messing with a married man, okay, that's one argument. But to blame her for him getting fired, when he got fired because his ass wanted to order a plan B to the school, and one of them snitched on him, it's crazy. Now you finna be cheating with boys in jail.
I think from the Sherrone Moore point of view, you have to look at his failures as well. He failed, if these things are true, he failed his family. Yep. He failed the young men he was in charge of leading and coaching. And he also failed a community of coaches who would love to follow him to get an opportunity to coach at a historically great university like a Michigan, to be amongst the names of the Yost and the Schembechlers and the Lloyd Carrs. That was the opportunity that he had that he failed at. And we also have to think about this young lady who was a subordinate and what these accusations or what these actions will do to her for the rest of her life. And so now if you're Sherrone Moore, who was the first African-American head coach at the University of Michigan, there's also a community of coaches that would love to follow in your footsteps that will be partly judged because of your actions. He does have to own that. He does have to, at some point, acknowledge that. He has to be held accountable for that, whether these things are true and someone was after him or not. And so if you're Michigan, you're truly coming from 2 head coaches in a row, in Jim Harbaugh and also Sherrone Moore, that has let the university down in some way. It is not the level of excellence that we expect from that position that has a responsibility. You know, in Romans 3:23, right, it says, all have fallen short because of sin and fallen short of the glory of God. So Sherrone Moore will be and will have an opportunity to be given grace by his family, by Christ, but he won't get a Bobby Petrino rebound. Right? He will be treated like Mel Tucker. He will be treated like Michael Haywood, who in 2010 was supposed to be the next head coach of the University of Pittsburgh. So I just don't think we could skip over how serious this situation is for Sherrone Moore and the decision-making, this situation he put himself in. And so going forward, you can't just bring in a coach that's great at X's and O's. You need to bring in a leader of men. You need to bring in a man that these young men can look at and model certain aspects of their life afterwards. And I don't know who that is. Is it a Jed Fish from the University of Washington who turned Arizona around? I know I heard the name Brian Kelly being floated. He absolutely should not be the next head coach of Michigan. From everything you see of Kellen DeBoer, even if he's not winning the amount of games you want him to win at Alabama, he carries himself in a way where that is someone I would want my son to play for. And I think when you're looking at finding this next head coach, it's not as simple as how many games can we win. It's who can change the perception of the sort of person we are picking to lead young men into the next chapters of their lives.
I am gutted. I am shocked. I'm dismayed. I'm depressed. I'm disgusted. Every single emotion that you think I would have, I've got. I didn't see it in Sherrone Moore. When I've met him, he's been nothing but great to me, nothing but great to my family. And right now, I go back and forth between, my gosh, the football aspect of it, but more importantly, the personal aspect of it. Because right now, families and lives are shattered. And thank goodness no lives have been lost. I don't know what was going on with Sherrone Moore in his mind that was going down after. Clearly, he had received the news and brought it back home that he was no longer the head coach of the University of Michigan football program, and the reasons why, and everything that spiraled out of control. I think of his wife. I think of his 3 daughters. I think of him. I think of the young lady that's involved and everything that must be going on in her life and the choices that she might be lamenting right now. All I know is, speaking on behalf, if I may, of the Michigan alumni base, this is terrible. This is something that I don't ever want to hear about any program or any coach or any family, let alone the one that I hold so near and dear. And if this is all in fact true, it is something that I don't know how we move on. And the only way that it can move on is a full accounting of what's gone down. And then at that point in time, you do have to turn to the fact that there are players, whether they are current members of the team or there are current members of the incoming class at the University of Michigan. And then there's a transfer portal. And what do you tell any of the kids there to actually tell them on behalf of all of us here at the University of Michigan? This is not the way it is, although it is. This is not the way it's supposed to be, even though it is currently being. And I'm saying this again with a heavy heart and completely conflicted, because when it all comes down to it, me sitting here wondering about the timing about the football program, when there are people staring into the abyss about how their lives have been completely upended by the choices that have been made, completely out of their control, and that includes a wife apparently and 3 daughters apparently, and whatever's going on between the temples of Sherrone Moore, lives shattered. It makes it feel like I'm being a small person wondering about what about a football program, because it is a much larger issue. So if anybody's out there wondering what I'm thinking, I'm laying it all out there. I don't know. I have no idea what the future holds. Whatever I can do to help, I'm there. But in terms of wondering what's happening right now, I'm with you. I don't know. All I know is it's a nightmare of a situation for a lot of people involved, and more than just football.
One thing we don't give men credit for enough is how to ruin their entire life in as little time as possible. Because how do you lose your $6 million a year paying job, your wife, and your freedom, all because of one situation that could have been avoided? The University of Michigan's head coach was fired for having an affair with a staff member. And guess what? That goes against their code of conduct, of course. So they fired him, and on top of that, they don't even have to pay him. And as you can see in this article, hours later, he was put in jail. Now, per this article, I read it, and it didn't have any updates as to why he was put in jail or, what the case is. Like, maybe there's some more updates ever since this article got released. But from what I read, they don't have any updates. And this is the part that kills me. It says he became the Wolverines head coach in 2024, taking over after spending 6 years on the offensive staff. He was the first black head coach in program history. And this is how you want to end it? Because of a staff member? I just don't feel sorry for him. I don't feel sorry for him because, one, obviously you're a married man, but you're a married man with 3 daughters, and you are setting a horrible example on what a man is supposed to do in a relationship for them. Like, you're doing an awful job. But on top of that, it's in university policy that fraternizing with employees or doing anything like that is not tolerated. So you knew if somebody found out about this, you knew you was going to lose this high-paying ass job. $6 million a year, you knew you were going to lose this job if somebody found out. And somebody always finds out. Like, why do y'all think y'all are so sneaky? Y'all are not.
Yeah, man, that pussy will do it to you. That nigga lost everything in a blink of an eye. $13 million, gone. Wife, gone. Alimony, gone. Child support, gone. And he got arrested. So 9 times out of 10, he probably gonna lay down for a little while. Gone. And then the nigga just kept making it worse. Motherfucker done broke into her house and tried to unalive himself and her. What? Come on, bruh. Come on, dog. Like, what are we doing, bro? You'll be lucky if you touch high school football. You feel me? And I do feel bad for some of the kids because, like, I just heard that the school is just now telling the kids what happened. So imagine you a recruit. You just came in thinking the coach going to be there, and you hear this horrendous-ass story how he got a staffer pregnant, then tried to unalive her, and then tried to unalive himself. Big dog, that's a crazy start to your football career.
I'm Dave Boucher with the Detroit Free Press. We're here at the Washington County Courthouse and Jail where former University of Michigan football coach Sherrone Moore is still being detained. We do not anticipate that he will be arraigned in court today on Thursday, but there's a chance he's arraigned in court Friday, December 12th. Make sure to follow the Detroit Free Press and Freep.com for all the updates on this story.
Let me get this straight. You spent the better part of 2 decades working your ass out to become the head football coach for the University of Michigan football team. You've held multiple positions, clawed your way to the top, and now you finally have a seat at the table. And let's just keep it a stack. These type of seats for people that look like us, they are few and far between. And you've made it there. So much so that you secured a 5-year, $27.5 million contract with the University of Michigan. And you threw it all away because you do not have wangulous control. Make it make sense because it doesn't. Y'all grab your tea and have a seat. Let's talk about Sherrone Moore. So Sherrone Moore was the head football coach of the University of Michigan football team. He earned that position in January of 2024, securing a nearly $30 million contract with the university. Now, Sherrone has been married to his wife, Kelly, since 2015, and they have 3 daughters. Well, baby, on yesterday, the University of Michigan released a statement saying that they had fired Sherrone, citing that they found credible evidence of him being engaged in an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So Sherrone has been fired from his dream job because he lacked wangulous control and was cheating on his spouse with a staff member. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. But it gets worse. According to reporting in the immediate hours following his dismissal from Michigan, the Saline Police Department then assisted the Pittsfield Township Police in detaining him. He remains at the county jail in Michigan after being booked at 8:30 p.m. on alleged assault charges. Now, being Double D, I got to tell y'all what the congregation of the internet streets is saying. This is all allegations. But according to them, honey, Sherrone was messing with a staff member. He had close proximity with this staff member, so much so he was able to get them a very significant raise. But here's the thing. He was enjoying that ooey gooey gush way too much because he was going in raw, and the staff member is now pregnant. Now, the congregation goes on to allege that after Sherrone was fired from his job, he went to go meet up with that alleged pregnant staff member and some shit popped off, and that is why he's arrested on these alleged assault charges. Now, the person that they're alleging is the staffer. They have locked their Instagram down. It doesn't mean that that's actually them. It could be that they're being harassed and had to lock their Instagram down. But we're going to wait and see what comes out in the Washington arraignment. Oh, yes, they also allege that he tried to pay the staffer off to keep this on the low-low. Absolutely no wang control. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. But what we do know is that this is a story that is as old as time. Men thinking with their little heads instead of thinking with their big heads.
Shock in the world of college football. The University of Michigan head coach, Sherrone Moore, has been fired for having what the school calls an inappropriate relationship with the staffer. A few hours later, police took Moore into custody after reports of an alleged assault investigation.
On Wednesday, the school's athletic director says they terminated the 39-year-old with cause after he, quote, engaged in an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. Hours later, police told CBS Detroit the coach was detained earlier in the day near Michigan Stadium. He was then arrested and booked into jail. According to ESPN, he's a suspect in an alleged assault. However, no charges have been filed yet. The investigation into Moore began last month, according to CBS Sports.
One of the ongoing looming questions that will hang over Michigan is, when did athletic director Ward Manuel know, and why did he not make earlier decisive action?
The sudden ending of Moore's career comes after he spent 2 years as head coach, taking over for Jim Harbaugh. The Wolverines won the 2023 national championship. But this year, Moore faced a 2-game suspension for his role in the school's sprawling sign-stealing scandal that has loomed over college football's winningest program for nearly 2 years.
It's been an unbelievable period of success with that national championship, but also an unbelievable period of scandal and drama with Michigan football. And Michigan as a program typically is above that. It's a Michigan man. It has a certain connotation. And I think that has been really damaged by the behavior of Sherrone Moore.
Yeah, Sherrone Moore was under a 5-year contract with a salary of $5.5 million. But according to the terms of his deal, the school will not have to buy him out, as he was fired for cause. And of course, we have reached out to Moore and have not heard back.
He just a dummy.
Well, it's twofold. Let me check you, T. It's twofold. Most of the coaches are dumb. It's that they wanted him out of there, so they just needed to find a reason. True story. I ain't gonna say no names. It's a true story. I'm in Texas. 08 Fiesta Bowl. If y'all's Google works later, y'all can look it up.
Oh, man.
We had an athletic trainer that was stumbling around the hotel drunk, looking for a head coach. Married at the time. Stumbling around the hotel drunk, knocking on doors, trying to find this head coach. We just kept it under wraps because we was 12-1. Next year, we went to a national championship. So we weren't about to out this prominent coach, not head coach. We weren't about to out this prominent coach on our staff. It's an athletic trainer drunk in Arizona. We at the Fiesta Bowl about to play Ohio State, led by Terrell Pryor, and it never comes out. It doesn't get reported for like another 7 years when this other coach on this Texas staff was in a lawsuit and was like, how y'all gonna fire me, but y'all kept this person on staff because y'all knew about it. Meaning, T, everybody at Texas knew about it. I thought, oh, this didn't make it up to the officials. Later, I found out, oh, y'all did know. We was just winning, so y'all like internally suspended him. If Michigan wanted to sweep this under the rug, they could have swept this under the rug. Michigan wanted Sherrone Moore gone. They wanted their money back for him to be gone. They wanted to make sure he was gone and not have to pay him. And as a result, they went looking for where they knew they would find dirt. They found the dirt, and they used the dirt to get the man who they never wanted in the building out the building in the first place.
They wanted him out.
Hired, fired, arrested. The head coach of Michigan, in that order. Now, the hiring happened a while back, but the firing happened on December 10th of this year. Now, all the details have not been confirmed, but what has been confirmed is that there was an inappropriate relationship that was happening with another staff member, which led to his contract being ended immediately. Now, the streets are alleging that he was cheating on his wife, who's behind us, with his assistant. Allegedly. I know what you're thinking. He looked like the type that got a type, and clearly that's his type. I thought the same thing. There were also some rumors about a DoorDash delivery and a Plan B, but none of that has been confirmed, and nobody was confirmed to be pregnant. That is what the streets were saying, all allegedly, but it has not been confirmed. Now, they have since released this mugshot of him, and just so we're clear, his arrest was not linked to him being fired from Michigan. He was arrested due to an alleged assault incident that is not linked back to the incident that he was terminated for. But this is a damn shame. A damn shame. Threw it all away for an affair? Be so serious.
Sherrone Moore is not the head coach of Michigan anymore. Sherrone Moore is currently detained in a jail, I believe, in Michigan, not because of the reason why he got fired, but because of what happened immediately after he got fired. Biff Pogge, who's a businessman, billionaire, extraordinaire, will be the interim head coach for the Michigan Wolverines. He was this earlier in the year when Sherrone was suspended for a couple games. They play Texas New Year's Eve in the Cheez-It Bowl. They're only 6.5-point favorites against a Michigan team whose starting quarterback has already taken Michigan all the way out of his entire social media status, and Michigan for the next 2 weeks is poachable for any coachable to go and get them.
Sometime midday, Sherrone Moore was dismissed from the University of Michigan with cause. They were very clear that this was because of an inappropriate relationship. Not long after that, police in Pittsfield, Michigan, Pittsfield Township, responded to investigate what they called in a press release an alleged assault. Not long after that, Michigan had a team meeting where the team was told of Sherrone Moore's dismissal. I think it was 4:43 p.m. was the official time of Michigan announcing this. Around 7:15 last night, the city of Saline, Michigan, announced that Moore had been detained and they were working in partnership with Pittsfield Township. Then it emerged through court documents last night that Sherrone Moore had been booked in Washtenaw County Jail. He's still in custody in Washtenaw County Jail. No announcement of a decision on charges is expected today.
I can imagine 6-7 months ago, I went through something very similar. So I know what that storm is like.
Yes, sir.
And unless you've been in it, that's why when people say, this is what I would do, you don't know what you would do until you in it. Until you in that pressure cooker, until you in the eye of the storm.
Yes, sir.
Until you in. Ocho, you and I have had a conversation. So
yes,
I know.
Mm-hmm.
To be in that storm, and
Crazy.
to know everybody know everything that you worked your entire life for.
Mm-hmm.
You feel it like it's crumbling right before your eyes.
Gone.
Yeah. And the only people that's gonna be there, it's gonna be a select few. It's gonna be a select few. That's the hardest part. I mean, everybody. Look, it's kind of it. Look, and I understand the situation, but if you're married and you engage in an inappropriate relationship, why would you do that? You married. And see, everybody always say, well, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Well, if you thought you was gonna get caught, if you thought something was gonna go wrong, you wouldn't do it.
Right.
The same reason you speed. If you thought you was gonna get caught, you think you would speed? No. Unless you're a kleptomaniac, you're not gonna steal. You know, klepto just can't help it. But some people don't. You don't shoplift. You don't steal stuff, and you think you'll get caught. That's why a lot of people, most robberies happen at when? At night. You got the veil of darkness because I don't want to get caught. I don't want to be seen. The same thing while you creep. Most times, when the creeping take place? At night.
Right.
Boy, a college professor told me, he said the night has 1,000 eyes. And on most nights it has 1,002 because somebody sees you.
Oh, yeah. I'm writing that down, boy. That's a good one there, boy.
Damn.
Say the night has 1,000 eyes?
On most nights it has 1,002 because somebody sees you.
Well, I don't know when I'm going to be able to use that in conversation.
And then the other reports that came out that he was arrested and things that, some things escalated. All the situations that you've heard, you never think a situation like this can happen to you, even though you're doing what you've heard about. Nah, this is going to be different. She ain't like that. It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to get out. Don't nobody know but her and I, blah, blah, blah. And I can imagine 6-7 months ago, I went through something very similar. So I know what that storm is like.
Yes, sir.
And unless you've been in it, that's why when people say, this is what I would do, you don't know what you do until you in it.
Mm.
Until you in that pressure cooker, until you in the eye of the storm.
Yes, sir.
Until you in Ocho, you and I have had a conversation. So
Yes, sir.
you I know you know.
Mm-hmm.
To be in that storm and
Crazy.
to know everybody know everything that you worked your entire life for.
Mm-hmm.
You feel it like it's crumbling right before your eyes.
You gone.
Yeah. And the only people that's gonna be there, it's gonna be a select few. It's gonna be a select few. That's the hardest part. I mean, everybody. Look, it's kind of it. Look, and I understand the situation, but if you're married and you engage in an inappropriate relationship, why would you do that? You married. And see, everybody always say, well, "Why would you do that? Why would you do that?" Well, if you thought you was gonna get caught, if you thought something was gonna go wrong, you wouldn't do it.
Right.
The same reason you speed. If you thought you was gonna get caught, you think you would speed? No. Unless you're a kleptomaniac, you're not gonna steal. You know, klepto just can't help it. But some people don't. You don't shoplift. You don't steal stuff, and you think you'll get caught. That's why a lot of people, most robberies happen at when? At night. You got the veil of darkness because I don't want to get caught. I don't want to be seen. The same thing. Why you creep? Most times, when the creeping take place? At night.
Right.
Boy, college professor told me, say the night has 1,000 eyes. And on most nights it has 1,002 because somebody sees you.
Oh yeah, I'm writing that down, boy. That's a good one there, boy.
Damn.
Say the night has 1,000 eyes?
On most nights it has 1,002 because somebody sees you.
Well, I don't know when I'm gonna be able to use that in conversation.
And then the other reports that came out that he was arrested and things that, some things escalated.
Damn.
That old hoo-ha, boy.
Hey.
It's undefeated.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey,
Think about Samson and Delilah, David and Bathsheba.
It made a fool of us all, though, at some point. In some way, shape, form, or fashion. One of the most powerful things, one of the most powerful things on earth.
Boy, that's a hell. There are some people I don't hate anybody, but there's a few people I really have a strong disliking for. I wouldn't wish what I went through on them. I wouldn't. Boy, it was tough. Boy, it was some days that all I had was not you, Ocho, and Joe. My family. That was it. Nobody else was there. All the phone calls, the people used to call and, hey, how you doing? What's up? Stopped. I think that was besides that, yeah, it was embarrassing. But I think that was the toughest part. Is that people that you thought would always be in your corner, all of a sudden they weren't there. And I just remember my brother calling me every day, like, man, tell me a joke. Maybe like, hey, I know you got some story. Tell me what Papa used to do in this situation. What would Papa say? What would Granny say? What would this? He was always trying to pick me up. He said, nah, bro. He called Shelly. How's he doing today, Shelly? He's like, he ain't doing good. He called. My sister called. Bucket called. I think the hardest thing was when Bucket called him crying. That was really the only time that I broke down because I'd never seen Bucket cry. I saw him cry one time when his brother got killed. We were in college. The only time I had seen Bucket cry. And when he cried, he broke down. Now I broke down. Man, I was like, bro. I said, homeboy, we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. I said, there are better days on the horizon. We just got to weather the storm.
Mm-hmm.
Just got to stand it. Sherrone, all I can tell you, bro, you got to stand in it. You got to, I remember Mary Porter used to always tell us, and I didn't really understand because I'd really never gone through anything. She said, boy, everybody, they're either entering the storm, they're in the storm, or they're coming out of the storm. There's only 3 phases. Everybody's doing something. You in it, you coming in it, you slap dab in the smack in the middle of it, or you leaving it. Damn.
Damn.
Own it. Just damn. Someday you're like, man, am I gonna wake up? Is this a dream? Am I gonna wake up? Nah, bro, it's real. And that's what Sherrone is thinking right now. I guarantee you. He's like, this is a dream. Is this real? This really happened? And just like that.
Blink of an eye.
Just like that. Everything that you worked a lifetime for. All these bricks that you stop, that you, what is that, Jenga? Where you put the brick, you try to pull one out and don't topple down.
Huh?
And you know. Start stacking all back over again.
Son, you don't have bad luck. The reason that bad things happen to you is because you're a dumbass.